With only hours remaining for the not only monthly close, but also the quarterly close, bringing in the most chaotic and gigantically huge quarter of the year, Bitcoin has just done something for the first time in 2 years, and it's scaring the heebie-jeebies out of me. But what is it? Watch this. I'm your host, Spooks Magoo, and something completely mind-boggling and, dare I say, mind-penetrating is happening right now, and tomorrow will be, in my opinion, one of the juiciest of juicy days confirmed. Make sure to subscribe, turn to these absolutely time-sensitive alerts, take advantage for only the next literal day to sign up and get 10 USDT future trading bonus below by clicking the link to BitGet. In addition, using the trading links below, up to an additional 16,000 total in deposit bonuses. And if you want to get the details on that, you can just click the link below and it tells you exactly how to do that. Without any further ado, let's jump in. Unbelievable. Bitcoin has just done something, and we're breaking records every single second, every single day here. We're trading sideways in a way that only happens before the biggest moves. And this gives me a flashback because I've been making videos for almost 6 years now. And every time that we see sideways as it is right now, sideways trading, it literally is the precursor to the biggest moves. When exactly, what minute, what second will that be? Obviously, nobody knows. However, these are the type of volatile breakdowns or price castrations that lead into the biggest dumpulations of all time or the biggest pumpulations of all time. But truly, the big question is, are we about to see a pump, or is it going to be what everyone expects and another massive dump? And before we continue with any of these charts, let's take a look here. So volatility has been absent, and not only do we have the monthly close coming up in just a day, we have the quarterly close. The end of the third quarter is upon us, and we're about to begin the fourth quarter here. And so Bitcoin price is basically doing nothing into that. Will we see tomorrow, the last day of trading before the weekend, some massive volatility, and will we see it head into the weekend? That is a very big question. I think the most exciting thing, obviously, for the next 48 hours here. We've basically seen heavy losses this week. We saw a nice little pump that was immediately brought down within just hours of getting a pump back above 20K. But as quoted here by materials indicators, can certainly build a case for local support in this range, at least until the monthly and quarterly close tomorrow, unless we get the mother of all rugs. And that's something we absolutely have to be watching for, although data suggesting, again, 18,000 is a pretty high support level, according to order book data and historical prices and resistance and trading there and support. But Bitcoin usually moves between 30 to 50 days in a sideways movement before a leg down. And for the first time in 2 years, Bitcoin decided to move over 100 days in sideways. And that is what an accumulation cycle looks like. We have seen a very long amount of sideways trading. And you can see that if we go to the daily chart here, you can see we've been trading sideways after we broke down at the beginning of June. We've basically been trading sideways only between 18,000 and 25,000, but for the most part, it's been more so 19,000 to about really 22, 23,000. So a $4,000 or $5,000 range. We've spent the better part of over 3 months. Okay, so that's not a lot of movement. And really, the reason I zoomed out there, if you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see here, if you really look back historically, how long you trade in these sideways ranges. Here we are, trading completely sideways. This was a little bit smaller, but then obviously it was followed by a massive dump. And then we had more sideways trading for a prolonged amount of time, and that was followed by a massive pump. More sideways trading, and that was followed by a massive dump. So as you can see, the most sideways boring periods are usually then followed by either a massive dump or a massive pump, just like we see just all those times that I just circled are the same thing. These are the most sideways areas that I can see on this chart over the past couple of years, and they were followed by very big dumps and very big pumps. Mostly very big dumps, though, for the past year. It's mainly been dumps. We've been mainly just absolutely getting completely gobbled up, chewed out, and spit on, and dumped on as well. And again, if you go back historically, again, the most sideways trading, less and less volatility usually leads to the biggest dumps or pumps. And so the big question here is, are we about to see a very big pump or a very big dump? And I'm sure many of you know as well the Bank of England. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that news, but we can look at that here as well. But first, Stanley Druckenmiller saying he doesn't believe right now is the perfect time for risk on assets, but he says the writing is on the wall. He says here, if the Bank of England, what they did is followed by stuff like that by other central banks in the next 2 to 3 years, when things get really bad, he sees crypto as being having a huge role in the renaissance, having a huge renaissance, meaning massive price appreciation, because people just don't trust central banks. And why would you? If there's anyone watching this video wearing a I love central bank shirt, or, Googling videos of dirty central bankers, you know what I mean? Why? Why are you a fan of central bankers? Okay. I don't even think central bankers like central bankers. Am I right? But as well, this caught the attention of Arthur Hayes, the former CEO of BitMEX, who did predict a doom loop taking the hold of the world's major fiat currencies. And he claimed the euro had already commenced this doom loop. And it's going, guys, I mean, basically, what is a doom loop? Well, I'll summarize it. If we would see the collapse of fiat currencies in some sort of doom loop type scenario with debt and everything like that, it's going to be chaotic. Something that we may have never seen before in the last 1 trillion years. So it's absolutely just very big. And, Bitcoin was created, let's be honest, it was created for a scenario like this. So I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to all of a sudden shoot up to the moon and stars immediately, but it is possible. It will do what it was designed to do over the next few years and absolutely explode to the upside, just like Stanley Druckenmiller said there. So that's absolutely worth noting. And if we do take a quick look at these charts, again, this could be one of those moments before a massive move to the upside or downside, right? An amazing trade opportunity potentially as well. If you're doing that, that's why tight stop losses are important. If we have a massive swing and you pick the wrong side, or if you're betting on the wrong side. But really here, we see the DXY on a 2-day little bit of a dumpy downtrend. You can see that here. And that's, 2 pretty big red candles after just exploding to all-time highs of the last multiple decades. But as well, are we about to see the money printer turn on more so around the world? Further exacerbating this doom loop for fiat. That is, these are very interesting times. And let's be honest, it's very interesting, in my opinion, what crypto will do over the coming months and years. But in this very second, I think what's more interesting and important is watching the potential collapse of fiat currencies around the world. This is huge. This is much bigger than crypto. Even though I personally think crypto will step in and give us an option that we've never had before that is, in my opinion, the best option, we also have to realize that, if you zoom out and take a look outside of crypto, there are some pretty insane things going on around the world. And as well, one thing I think is very interesting is that if XRP wins this lawsuit against the SEC, or the SEC loses their lawsuit against XRP or Ripple, it will be huge for the crypto space in a good way, right? I don't own much XRP. I've had it for like years, right? I invested years ago. I think it was actually one of the first coins that I bought back like 6 years ago, because it was just one of the first ones I bought. And I think I've been holding on to it pretty much that entire time. But if it does do well, absolutely insanely good in my opinion for regulation against some of these cryptos, and just a very positive win for the space. It's much bigger than just XRP itself. See you in the chat. Absolute time sensitive alerts. Take advantage of over $16,000 in deposit bonuses below. In addition, if you simply create an account and sign up below using my link, just clicked right at the top of the YouTube description or comments there, pinned comment, you will receive 10 USDT futures trading bonus for the next day. It ends at the end of this month, so the month is almost over. Without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.